power of makeup. Power of makeup. Huh. Oh yeah. This is gonna be so good. Never even seen anyone do a video like this before. You know what? I feel like this could really be like a viral video or something. The power of makeup. The power of makeup. Are you kidding me? Did the power really just go out right now? Oh, come on. In the middle of me filming my video. Okay. Guess I'm just gonna take this all off. Not like I just spent 3 hours doing this, but. Jaclyn, I've been giving you literally so many signs. When are you gonna realize that I am the true power of makeup? Hey everyone, it's Jaclyn. So this video is for the first challenge of the Face Awards. The theme that we were given is the power of makeup, so I decided to take things literally and create a character makeup inspired by electricity and power surges and lightning and all that kind of stuff. So this is actually a fan voted contest, so if you do want to see me move on to the next round, vote for me, Jaclyn Forbes, by clicking the link in the description. Okay, let's hop into the tutorial. So we're gonna start off with the hair pulled back, clean skin, and we're gonna start by blocking out the brows. So I'm gonna take this washable glue stick here, and I'm just gonna generously coat my eyebrow hairs. It seems scary at first, but trust me, it does come out. Then I'm just gonna take a little spoolie brush and kind of comb through and fan out my eyebrows. Basically, the goal when doing this is to get the eyebrows as flat to your face as possible. Then once it's all dry, we're gonna set it in place with the NYX Professional Makeup SFX setting powder. Now I'm just taking this on a little powder puff and just pressing it into the skin. Now this is when you can start to say goodbye to your eyebrows. Soon enough, we're gonna have none. So just dust away any excess powder with a brush and then repeat the process again. So depending on how coarse or unruly your eyebrows are, you may need to do this like tons of times. I ended up doing it about 3 times. Now on this final layer here, I'm really packing the powder on. I just want it to be super, super smooth. Next up, I'm going in with the NYX Professional Makeup Color Correcting Concealer, and I'm going to take the orange and the peach shade from that palette and basically stipple that all over the eyebrow. So you can kind of see where my eyebrow is still peeking through. It has kind of like a bluish tint, but the orange and the peach are going to be really great at canceling that out and just neutralizing it. So you can see as soon as I put it on, eyebrow is completely gone. Crazy, eh? Ooh, my Canadian is showing. So now that we're all set in place, we can move on to applying the custom cheek prosthetics, which is what this is. Which I should probably show you how I made this, so roll the montage. Okay, so first up is life casting, which is basically where I get an exact replica of my face, which is both super cool and very alarming at the same time. But then what I'm gonna do once my face is ready to go is sculpt the prosthetics onto the life cast. So I have some clay here, and I'm sculpting some lightning bolt cheekbones here. So I want it to be kind of believable, but I still want it to be very angular and eye-catching and almost like superhero-like. So once I was happy with the sculpture that I made, I'm gonna start to layer some liquid latex on top. So I'm just using small stippling motions, and I'm actually using a hairdryer in between each layer to make sure that it dries completely, and I ended up doing about 6 layers total. Then to finish it off, you're just gonna take some loose powder and dust it all over, and you're gently gonna peel off the prosthetic. And this is actually my favorite part because you feel like a little archaeologist just, you know, dusting away for artifacts. But be nice and gentle with it, ease it off, and then there you go. You've got 2 custom cheekbones. How cool is that? So basically I had those two pieces prepped and ready to go. That way I can quickly just, you know, stick them on my face. Now what I'm going to do is actually fill the prosthetic with some stuffing just because I don't want it to collapse on my face. So I'm taking a cotton round and some cotton out of there. And I'm going to make kind of like a paste between some liquid latex and the cotton. So you can see I'm just kind of dipping it in, getting this nice gloopy texture. Gloopy, I feel like there's a better word for that, but gloopy is really what you want. A little tip, what I like to do is hold it up onto my face, and right before it's dry, you just kind of want to give it the final little adjustments and make sure that there's no gaps and that things are looking good. So now we're ready to glue the appliance onto our face. So I'm just kind of marking it out with a bit of a lip liner there. And I'm going to take some adhesive and put that both on my skin and onto the actual appliance. Now, one thing I have to caution you about, if you're using adhesive, make sure you clean your hands all the time with wipes, because if you have any little bit of residue on your fingers, it will ruin your appliance, it'll stick together, it'll create a disaster. So make sure every single step you are wiping your hands down, because things get messy really fast, and it's really valuable to be nice and neat and clean with application. When you're putting it on, do your best to make sure there's no wrinkles and things are nice and smooth, and especially with something like these two cheekbones, make sure they're nice and level and the placement is nice and balanced. So you can see I'm just kind of checking it out here and making sure that things look even. Next up, I'm going to take a little dish and basically make a concoction of 99% alcohol and some adhesive, and this is going to help smooth out the edges. So I'm just going to go over all of the edges of the appliance and just blend things out and make sure that it has that seamless, undetectable edge. Now this is where things get real fun. Put lots of adhesive in your hair. Removal is an absolute joy. Now you guys know the drill by now. We're going to lock everything in place with some powder. Next up, we're going to move on to the gelatin appliance. Now this is going to be where the electrical wires are coming out of her heart. And we don't know, is it human? Is she bleeding? Is she powered by electricity? We will never know. Anyways, you're going to want to glue that on using the exact same techniques that we just did before. Now this one I also hand sculpted and poured. Now with this gelatin one, it's a little different because I have some like overflow edges here, which makes it really easy to apply and actually really easy to blend out. So basically I have some witch hazel on my cotton swab, and it just kind of like melts away the gelatin. It's absolutely magic, and it makes your blending edge literally flawless. Okay, so we just put a ton of effort into laying the foundation right, but if you don't have a good base, the rest of your makeup isn't going to be good. So we're going to start by coloring the entire face. So I have some alcohol activated palettes here, and I'm just going to start to add a bunch of different colors. So I mean, if you take a look at skin isn't just one tone, there's tons of dimension. You've got purples, you've got blues, you've got greens, and I'm going to start to layer these different colors on my skin just to start with a really good base, so that way when we go to add foundation on top, it looks a lot more believable. So for foundation, I'm going to take the Total Control Drop Foundation, and I'm just going to stipple that on with a stippling brush and bring that down the neck and a little bit around the chest appliance as well. And then it's time for some more powder. We love a good powder today, don't we? Okay, this completely naked and undefined face is needing some definition. I'm going to go in with this lip liner. This one is in the shade Sugar Glass, and over top of that I'm going to pop some soft matte lip cream. This one is in the shade Cape Town. Now, these are really nice colors just because they still define the lips, but they're not going to be too eye-catching and distract from the rest of the makeup. Okay, time for the fun stuff. So I've got a bunch of SFX cream colors here. I've got the yellow, blue, red, green, black, white. Was that all of them? Anyways, I'm going to use a mixture of all of these and kind of create some custom colors. To start off though, I am going to take the yellow color and just start to draw lightning strike shapes all across the face. Now I actually studied a ton of different reference photos for this. I looked at people who had been struck by lightning before and the formations that appear on their skin, and also just shots of beautiful storms and lightning strikes on camera. So yeah, I drew a ton of inspiration from that and wanted to recreate similar designs on the face of this makeup. And I'm basically working in really small layers, going from lightest to darkest colors. So this is where things can get a little messy, so I would recommend putting on a cape or like a garbage bag or just something to kind of protect your clothing. I'm going to go in with the airbrush and add some white airbrush paint inside, and I'm going to basically use that to create the highlights of this look. Now I want there to be certain areas and certain spokes of the design to have the brightest, whitest color. If you actually look at real lightning strikes and how the light actually affects that, there are, you know, obviously lighter spots, darker spots, things like that. So you don't want it to be consistently white throughout the entire pattern. So creating a few different hot spots will really kind of add to the believability of it. Now I'm going to go back into the SFX cream colors we were using earlier and just kind of deepen up some of the areas, add a bit more dimension, give it more depth. And yeah, this is definitely going to be more of a time-consuming job, especially since we are hand painting the entire thing. But I would definitely encourage you to take your time, work slowly. This entire makeup is about working in small layers. So once we're pretty much happy with how the painting is looking, we're gonna go back in with the airbrush and just highlight some of those hot spots again. And again, you wanna be selective and very intentional with the areas that you choose to highlight again. You want these areas to be the brightest whites. Okay, time for a little eye makeup, because who says our Power Surge Mutant can't have a little glam in her life? So basically we're gonna go in with that red cream color we were using from before and just gently smoke that all around the eye. Then I'm gonna go in with this gel pencil liner. This one is in Pitch Black, and I'm just gonna rim my lower waterline. This always looks so painful, but I promise you it's not. Okay, we're gonna crack open the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette. This one here is in Cool Neutrals, and we're gonna take that kind of purpley black color and pop that on the outer V. I'm gonna take whatever's left over my brush and run that on my lower lash line as well. Then dipping back into that palette, I'm gonna take this kind of cool gray toned lilac color, and I'm just gonna buff that into the crease and blend everything together. Then I'm gonna take this liner. This one here is called That's the Point, and it's this little itty bitty little liquid liner, and I'm just gonna line my upper eye line, my regular lash line. I still wanna keep things very angular and lightning bolt-esque, but I don't want the eyeliner to be too dramatic that it'll take away from anything else, so just a little baby liner will do. Then I'm gonna pop on a little pair of lashes, and then coat my lashes with a double stacked mascara. So now that that's done, we're gonna move on to coloring the chest wound. And I'm gonna go back into that alcohol activated palette, and I'm gonna take some red and bruised tones and start to color that in. And you wanna make sure you're getting all of the flaps and all of the angles, and oh, there's so many flaps here. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm done, I had to do that. And I'm also just gonna add a little bit of coloring around the wound as well, just to kind of, you know, spice it up a little bit. Okay, so for some reason I decided this was the point moving forward where I could have impaired vision, so I popped in some white contacts, and now I'm gonna start to put in the wires that are gonna be coming out of the chest. So I'm just kind of cutting down different pieces and making sure that it's gonna fit perfectly, and once I'm happy with that, I'm just gonna take some adhesive and basically stick them together. Ooh, friendly reminder, you wanna use the cool setting on your hairdryer, you don't wanna melt the gelatin. Okay, so now I'm gonna stick the wires into the appliance, and I basically want the wires to be shooting completely out of my body, like right out there. Now, just to add to the gross factor a little more, we're gonna add in some blood, because y'all know I love me some blood. Some fake blood. Makeup blood, for clarification. We're gonna put a little bit of that on the wires as well, just to kind of messen things up, to dirty things up a little bit. And voila, wires aggressively poking out of the body, complete. Ooh, okay, we're almost done. I'm just gonna add a few finishing touches. So I'm gonna go in with a gray shadow and just add a little bit of depth and define the lightning bolt a little bit more. I don't want the lightning bolt to be so in your face and like cartoonish, but I definitely want you to be able to see it. And I'm gonna add a little bit of shadows just to the main lightning strikes and make those pop just a little bit more. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is pin the hair nice and tight to our head. We want it to be as flat as possible. And then we're gonna put the wig cap over top, and then we're gonna put the wig on. So to get this baby on, I basically just flip my head upside down, pop the wig on, and flip upright, and that normally does the trick. Don't worry, we are gonna adjust the hairline and fix that in just a second. Next up, I'm gonna take the eyeshadow in the shade Stripped, and this is basically like a black color, and I'm just gonna stipple that all over my fingernails and my fingers, because I want it to look like she sticks her fingers in sockets, or that she has lightning bolts coming out of her fingers. You decide. Now we're just getting into character, adding a little cord costume. Okay, so back to the wig. What I ended up doing was pulling out my real hairline and pulling out some of my baby hairs, and I ended up temporarily dyeing them with the black alcohol activated paint, and then that way when you pull the wig forward, the fake hairline blends in seamlessly with my real hairline. You see what I did? It's a little magic trick. I'm gonna put a little bit of that black shadow in any gaps, and then I'm also gonna take my foundation color and blend that into my fake hairline and into the real one. Okay, and then many of hours later, we are finally complete with the makeup. So there you go. There is the finished Power Surge Mutant creature that I created for the Face Awards. Now, like I said, this is the first challenge, and if you guys think that this makeup look is worthy enough of your vote, I would be so appreciative. You can go to faceawards.com and vote for me up to 3 times a day, starting now, starting today, up until May 24th. So yeah, please vote for me if you guys enjoyed this video and if you like this look. It is a fan-voted contest, so you guys hold the power. You see what I did there? Okay, that was a bad joke, I'm sorry. But yeah, I will leave the link at the top of my description box as well as the pinned comment of this video. So click it, vote away, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!